here, and today's health lesson is about goal setting. So today we are going to learn what a goal is. We're going to talk about things we need to think about if we're going to set a goal for ourselves. And then I'm going to tell a story. It's a true story. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to let you have a little story time with a story about myself and a goal that I set. So let's back up and start with what is a goal. If you don't know, we need to talk about that. A goal is something you want to achieve within a certain time. So when you think about setting a goal for yourself, you want to make sure that you pick something you want to achieve that you're interested in. So when I share my goal with you, it's something that I have an interest in. If you don't like what I have an interest in, then don't do my goal. Think about yourself. Think about things you like to do. Think about what you'd like to achieve and make sure that your goal is meaningful to you. So there are different types of goals. There's a short-term goal, which is something you can accomplish in a very short period of time. And then there's a long-term goal, and that's something that's farther out in the distance. Many times when we set a goal, a long-term goal, something far out, we have to make sure that we accomplish all the little short-term goals along the way so that we're successful in reaching our goal. Now, I have a little helpful tip here for setting a goal, and it says SMART. Each letter stands for one of the things we need to think about when we're going to set a goal. S stands for specific. You want to pick a specific thing that you want to achieve when you're setting a goal. M stands for measurable. You want to be able to measure. You want to be able to see that you've reached your goal. A is for achievable. Don't pick something that you're not able to do. Make sure that it's something realistic for you that you can achieve. And that is our next letter, R, realistic. That means something that is really something that you have the power and the resources to reach and accomplish. And timely. You should have a time frame. You should have a date for when you're going to reach that goal. SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, right? So those are some of the things. When I tell you my story, I'm going to share some of those things in my story to show you what I mean. So we want to have a clear, measurable, attainable goal, a specific action plan. Those are steps that we're going to take to reach our goal. We want to visualize ourselves accomplishing the goal. We want to think about and reflect on the progress. How are things going? Are we on track to reach that goal? And then if we need to, we might need to revise it. We might need to make some changes. We might need to see if we have to readjust and keep ourselves on track. And then we celebrate our accomplishments. So this is a true story now I'm going to share with you. And Miss Miller, a few years ago, she wanted to run in a race. And one of the reasons, honestly, that I wanted to accomplish that goal was to earn a medal. Because you see, when I was your age, girls, this is true, girls didn't get to play on sports teams. There weren't any for girls. There were a few for boys, but there weren't nearly as many things back then when I was growing up that they have available for all of you. And so I was very active, even though I was never on a team. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I went to college to become a health and physical education teacher, and I had never been on a sports team in my life. I was really good at different sports and activities because I like to play with them, kids outside, and try different things, hockey, basketball, running, but I was really never on an official team. So I never earned any trophies or medals, And so when I was older and I saw somebody had a medal that they earned from completing a race, and I thought, I can do that. So I started with a plan, and I decided to set a date, and I ran some races and accomplished them. So this goal that I want to tell you about was a couple of years later, and I had been running for a couple of years, a few times a week, and I got this idea that I wanted to complete a marathon. Do you know what a marathon is? A marathon is when you run or run and walk 26.2 miles. That's a long way. And that was a big goal to set. So I picked a race. Now this was in January, in the beginning of the year, and I picked a race that was going to be run in November in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And so I made sure that I was going to set myself a plan. I even joined a running group, and there were other friends who were going to run that same race that I got to go and do different runs to practice with. I also had a friend who helped me make a plan, and she knew all about running, and she set up a calendar for me with different days that I would run and do different workouts. And so along the way, I had to take a look and see if I was reaching that goal, if I was on track. And there was one time I had to make a change because I had an injury. I had an injury to my leg, and I couldn't run because the muscle was hurting. So I had to take a break, and then I had to readjust my plan again. And so you work hard, and along the way, to give myself little incentives, I would put a star on my calendar every time I completed a workout. And then I did little shorter races, and I accomplished those along the way. And then it got to be November, the year I ran a marathon. And I was very nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. In my longest practice run, I had never gone the full 26 miles, 26.2. So I had confidence that I had prepared, I had practiced, and I knew that I was going to be determined to do the best I could. If I finished or not, I was going to be proud of myself for trying and for all the hard work I had put in. So what I want to share with you now is Miss Miller's very favorite running medal. This is the medal that I earned from completing the Philadelphia Marathon, November 23rd, 2014. And so I did have other medals that I've earned, but this medal was very special. And you know why? Because completing that goal and finishing that race and crossing that finish line, and it took me a long time. Do you want to know how long? I'm not a fast runner. Don't think that I raced to win. I was just happy to finish. It took me 6 hours, 11 minutes. Yeah, so I was really happy to finish. I'm sorry, nope. I just looked down at my plaque. That was wrong. It was 6 hours, 1 minute, and 11 seconds. And I had this plaque made up with a picture of myself and my little number that I wore on my shirt when I ran, and they put a symbolic medal in there. So that's me when I was running the day of the race, and look at that smile, and look at that medal around my neck. I had completed my goal. So when you complete a goal, you build self-confidence. You build a sense of responsibility, and you build your decision-making skills and ability. And that accomplishment that I had set and I reached allowed me to have confidence in other areas of my life. So think about what you might have an interest in setting a goal for. It could be to play an instrument. It could be to get better school grades. It could be to do a dance recital. It could be anything that you're interested in. Maybe it's a sport, making a certain team. But pick something that has meaning to you. Set yourself a plan. Make a date with a timeline for when you need to complete it. Make sure it's measurable. Make sure that it's realistic. And then go for it. That's all for today. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.